We
love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, G. Clark. Garrison Hurst, stiff farm going 99. Don't get it twisted, one and all with prime time. John Taylor, Jerry Rice down the side.
It's the 49er Faithful UK show. It's Thanksgiving, and we are live. They say when it comes to live broadcasts, never work with children and animals. I'm Gareth Ellis, and I'm about to find out if that is true. The Awesome Foursome are one down at the moment, but we do have... He's cool, he's dope, and his name's Paul Hope.
Hi guys, purdy good tonight, fellas, purdy good.
And he's our man in Seattle, and it's the El Presidente, Lee Gowland.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, good mate, good mate. It looks sunnier where you are than it is for me.
So it's sunny, but it's not particularly warm at the moment. So we've currently got a high of 8 degrees. Although, to be honest, I mean, I'm still out here in just my jersey, so it's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's
you
a
are
little bit
northern,
chilly when you're
so...
walking in the shade. Well, yeah, that's right, I am northern. And we are right next to the bay, so I was expecting being a lot colder than what I am. But I think that sun being on us, it's keeping us nice and warm. And it helps I've got a pair of thermals on underneath my jeans.
That's a beautiful image. So we are live. Keep those comments coming in. I see there's at least one person watching. That's comforting. I think, is this my first live show?
It is, Gareth. It's your first live.
Yeah, wow, the pressure.
Are you sure? I'm sure the four of us have gone live before. Didn't we do the live for Yvonne Hardware Trip? Not Trip, the free agency.
No, don't believe
That's
so. So
I'm quite happy to be corrected.
So as Dan says there, chaps, evening faithful. Looks like you all had an awesome time in San Fran. Love the pics and love the videos. There was a lot more comments, Gareth, but I'm not just going to pepper bomb them. So where do you want to start tonight, chaps? Where do you want to start?
I was going to say, if you guys had a good weekend, were you up to anything interesting?
Interesting? Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah.
I think everybody's had quite a good weekend. I mean, some people have come back with a little bit more baggage than what they expected to come back with. But yeah, I think everybody's had a good weekend.
Yeah, a few lighter in the dollars, I think, as well. But
yeah,
that is to be expected.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't post too much over social media, Gareth, but stay tuned, faithful, because now we're all, well, I say now we're all back. The majority of us are back. You're going to see lots of pictures, lots of videos, lots of tweets. I will just say it was as awesome as it looked. And as James has put there, better than what I could say. What more can be said about the trip to the gold mine? Fantastic experience. It was James, his first visit to Levi's, similar to mine. And he's already, Lee, planning on going back to a game next season. So...
Good stuff.
Yeah, would you agree with that, Lee, his assessment?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good weekend. Obviously, from my perspective, I had the experience of 3 different gold mine trips there before, so I had, I think, higher expectations than everybody else. I think everybody who hadn't been to one really enjoyed it. Obviously, I came away a little bit disappointed because it didn't end up being what I'd advertised. We had no idea that we weren't going to get into the museum free because it was the service weekend, and they had so many service personnel in there, so they basically knocked that one on the head. And then kind of the weather prior to game day, Kai Bosch was getting on the field at the end as well, which for me personally, that was disappointing because I was disappointed for everybody else. But obviously we spoke about that after, and everybody turned around and said, you know what, it didn't really matter. It didn't really detract from the actual experience itself, which kind of helped me a bit because I was disappointed for everybody else. But in the whole, I think we've all had a really good weekend. I think everybody mixed really well. And hopefully, looking at some of the reaction from people who weren't there, it looks as though we'll definitely get another 40 there next year.
Yeah, hopefully so. I think, met a lot of people. Even remembered a few names this time, so that's pretty good for me. I think I came away with at least 5 or 6 new names. So, but it was good to see some faces behind the Facebook profiles, and actually get to chat to a few of the faithful. Find out about their experiences of following the Niners and what they made of the game and what they made of the experience being in Levi's. Because I think for some of us, it was your Levi's cherry being popped.
Yeah, that was my first experience. I mean, to be fairly, not getting on the pitch didn't take away one of the disappointments I've had since I've come back. It's kind of bittersweet. I took both your advice. I lived in the moment. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I can't wait for Wayne's photos. I wish I'd mixed a bit more on the gold mine. We kind of went in, sat down,
Yeah.
and then our seats were set. Now, for me, I got to sit next to Gareth and I got to sit next to Ted Talks Ball. Ted said himself he didn't expect the seats to be as good as what they were for the view. I kind of wished we'd got a photo of every single person who went in the gold mine, like a selfie, but I'm just picking hairs at what was a fantastic trip. I love the fact that you've always advertised it to me. San Francisco is more than just a game, and that's what I've come away from. The city was amazing. We mixed well. Not everybody stayed together the whole trip, which has made it even better. We've all got funny stories. A public safety announcement. I survived my night with Brett, which you will all be pleased to know. He looked after me well. Memories for a lifetime, and getting on that plane to come home. Normally after a holiday, you kind of have those blues, and like everybody else, I'm already thinking what I want to do next time when I come to San Francisco. But I think you've been a bit harsh on yourself with the Gold Mine trip, Lee. It was amazing. The fact that we had 40 in there. Nick Clark said himself, we blew it away with the chanting. The photos looked amazing, and we even had blue sky because it wasn't like that when we landed in San Francisco.
No, it certainly wasn't like that when we landed in San Francisco. And I have been in San Francisco a couple of times with that type of weather, and it's not a great place to be when it's raining so heavily in San Francisco. So luckily enough, that kind of cleared up reasonably quickly. Obviously, we got wet a little bit on the Saturday when we went to the Stanford Bears game, but again, we kind of made do with that because we ended up in the concourse, keeping dry. And the fact that you can now drink in Stanford kind of helped quite a lot to the people that still drink. Obviously, that's you aside, of course, Paul. But yeah, I think it was good. I think and it's still going good as well. I mean, obviously, I'm still out in Seattle. The guys are just along the road from us in Kel's Irish Bar. Right behind us there, this is Pike Place, the famous market. It's on 4 different levels. I've had to come out of the bar, not because of the noise, but because I didn't have any connectivity. Which is why I've come along here so I can actually get this show done and do what I need to do before I get back in there and start the celebration. Pre-tailgate, tailgate. This is what this is, because our official tailgate doesn't start until 2 o'clock. But we've been lucky up in Seattle, and it's nice and dry. The temperatures aren't great. I don't think we've cracked double figures yet, but it's quite small, Seattle. It's quite small, so you can get around it really, really quickly. I went for a run yesterday morning just to check out the city. I thought it was going to be a good 20 minutes along to Lumen Field. It turned out to be 4 minutes 40 seconds along to Lumen, so it wasn't very far at all. And then I headed back in the opposite direction towards the Space Needle, and again, I mean, the whole run was 7 miles. I took it easy and I kind of tried to get in everything that I could. And yeah, compared to San Francisco, it is quite a small city. It's a nice city.
Is it fair to say we will be doing more in depth about the gold mine? Because you'll both chuckle. Yeah. My family and friends have said, where's the pictures? And I'm like, there's that many. I don't want to just dump all of them on there, but we've got Wayne's to come as well. James has added in there, Lee. He doesn't think he caused much of a fuss wearing his kilt, but lots of friends and family back home were talking about it. So, yeah. James, you're larger than life. On a Tuesday, you brought that energy to Levi's, and when I saw you in that hotel lobby with your kilt on, and it was just the stories we've all got. I'm sure we'll go into it. We also, Gareth, went live Victory Monday at Golden Gate Bridge. Lee, felt pretty epic to celebrate that there.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And again, we got the good weather on the Monday, so it kind of made it a little bit. Sorry, I just hear the noises in the background because I've got noise cancellation, so I'm just wondering what was happening. I think everybody's starting to get worked up for the game.
Yeah. You
were going to get a turkey dinner this afternoon, Lee?
I've no idea what food is on at the tailgate. So the tailgate was like $75, all food and drink included. There's going to be some giveaways. Music, stuff like that.
She know that you hate the Seahawks.
So I don't know if you heard that. Heard that, but they obviously think I'm talking to me. Why? Does she know that you hate the Seahawks? Everybody knows that I hate the Seahawks.
It is pretty impressive, though, that you're there. I mean, we've all had an amazing trip, but you get home, you see you guys at the ice hockey game last night, and you think, oh man, and then you remember that the experience isn't over. So we've got you before you go pre-tailgate, tailgate, as your post said. So it must be a bucket list item, Lee. Away game, Seattle, our hated rivals. The excitement must be building, buddy.
It is. I mean, it's been building ever since we got into town on Tuesday. Obviously, we had the red eye. We had to fly out at 5 to 6 in the morning. And I tell you what, that pilot wasn't messing about. It should have been a 2.5-hour flight, and he got us up there in 1 hour 35 minutes. As soon as he took off, you could tell he meant business. Foot down, the plane was shaking all the way because he had on full throttle. And the way he took it into Seattle, he didn't bother slowing down. He just went in, hit that turf, and that's it. Slammed us through a hole. So it was kind of good to get in as quickly as that. And obviously the bonus for us means when we do fly out tomorrow to come back to the UK, the flight is actually 2 hours less than what it is from San Francisco. So it's only a 9-hour flight rather than an 11-hour flight. So that's going to be quite good. It kind of makes it a little bit easier on us. And like I said, I mean, you said it yourself, Paul, this is a bucket list item. I've always wanted to come to a road game. The two I always had in mind was Seattle and Arrowhead, Chiefs, mainly because of the stadium and the noise. And that's the type of thing that I enjoy. I want to experience that. As I've said, I had a run along to Lumens, and it looks like it's going to be a cold stadium because of the way it's made up. I think the wind's going to howl through there and make us a little bit chilly tonight. But I'm looking forward to find out how loud it actually gets. Looking around, the city's red. The city's red and white. It's great. As I've said, I've just come out of Kel's pub there, and it's absolutely chocker with 49er fans. So I'm looking forward to seeing how many 49er jerseys get into that stadium today.
I'm also jealous because you sat with John Chapman and his tailgate crew. I need you to ask him what he thought of the experience, Lee. He promised me a bear hug. He didn't let me down. So I want you to ask. But before we move on, Gareth, I think the terrific trio is now upgraded to the awesome foursome. He's made it, everybody!
Hello, everyone.
Here he is.
Hi.
It's Nadgy Gareth.
It is me. Hi, everyone. Sorry, work.
Better late than never.
I had time to hang this up, though.
You should have been wearing that. I wanted you to come on wearing it, man.
Didn't have time.
So, funnily enough, I was going to wear my gold jacket. With this being outside, I thought, I better put my gold jacket on. I stepped outside my gold jacket, and it's just far too hot. Even at 8 degrees, it's just far too hot.
This guy. It's raining here. It's cold. Right. Don't let me interrupt you. Where were you at? Carry on. I'll jump in.
We're just saying Lee's tailgating with John Chapman tonight, so I'll be keen to get what John's thoughts were of the UK faithful, of meeting us guys. I know he tried to go live from Levi's without any interruption on Sunday night, but Brett, who's a big supporter of John's, got very excited. And James has just echoed what you said, Lee, that he was in Seattle this time last year. The locals were amazing and welcoming, even though he was in 49ers colours, and he can't wait to go back there. And dare we say it, you mentioned giveaway, and look who popped up on the screen, chaps. Kevin Pittman. You better not be winning anything else, buddy. Let Lee win something.
No, Kev's going to win it no matter where he is.
So you talk about tailgating with John, which I will be at 2 o'clock. So John Chapman, Wayne Breezy, Nick Power's going to be there, and the whole 49er Rush Rotary crew. At the moment, as I said, I'm at the pre-tailgate. Tailgate is what we call it. And this is being organised by the Niner Empire. And as I walked in, straight away I recognised who was on the microphone, and it's Travis King. So Travis King is the MC for this event, and Bull Bar Whiskey are there as well, giving everybody tastes of Bull Bar Whiskey. So it's quite a well organised event. And like I said, it's absolutely chocker in that. Absolutely chocker. So what I've done this morning, I've done a very brief history of the head-to-head. Obviously,
good.
I've had other things to sort out this morning, trying to distribute tickets for the actual game. So the head-to-head, there's been 30 games. There's been 50 games in total. Seattle currently lead the head-to-head 30-20. So hopefully we can claw another one back today. The last 3 meetups have all been 49er victories, and that was all last season. So we beat them in the playoffs. And we kind of corrected the Seahawks fan at the Kraken game last night, where he told us we always choke against them. They can't do a double header. And we pointed out that we'd actually beaten them 3 times last year. His partner, she was sat there laughing because she knew we were right and he was having none of it. So we kind of put him in his place a little bit. But it was good to do that. As far as players that have played for both sides, I'm just going to stick it to 4 because there's quite a few that have played for both teams. It's the 4 most important players that you're likely to hear about, and that's Jerry Rice, Julian Peterson, Richard Sherman, and once again he makes the list. Ray Armstrong.
Oh, no way.
The journey.
Ray's back.
The journeyman. Ray is back on the list after a little bit of a break, but he's. When you talk about the history of the Seahawks and 49ers as a head-to-head, you don't really think of anything before 2010. 2010, when Harbaugh and Carroll took over as the respective coaches, you already had that kind of grudge match coming from college. Pete Carroll wasn't particularly happy with the way that Jim Harbaugh allegedly ran up the score on them. So that's how that kind of started the whole rivalry between the two teams. And it's fair to say, I mean, you have to be honest, and the Seahawks have had our number for the best part of a decade, apart from last season where we managed to knock them off 3 times in a row. So hopefully, like I said, that'll continue today. I think it's going to be quite a good atmosphere. I think it's going to be quite a close game. You have to always respect the Seahawks, especially when they've got Pete Carroll as the head coach there. And hopefully we can start writing our own history in the Shanahan era and go on and do something special.
I think you're right. I think we've started to write that. The balance has shifted back a bit, and definitely it always seemed to be. Partly the Seahawks, but it always seemed to be Russell Wilson who would just always pull something out, and they win when they didn't really deserve to. It would be 1 or 2 Russell Wilson plays, and I think maybe that's going to be a difference. Yeah, possibly.
Sure.
I'm just going to make you all dizzy by flipping my phone because my arm's tired.
I told you it would be different. It's difficult to do.
There you go.
Yeah, leap in, Nadgy. Give Lee's a voice a rest. Seahawks match up. What are you looking for?
I'm always looking for those games. I know it's not the oldest rivalry, but I think the last 10 years have really developed it into. I mean, we had the 2 best team for a long time, and I think if it wasn't for a few players on our roster, I think if we had Brock all this time, it would probably be fine. But I remember a few Jimmy G pulling games as well. It's always a good game. They've got great fans, I think. It's a great stadium. It's on the West Coast. It's a division game. It always has a little bit of spice. And obviously, the Dre Greenlaw tackle, we all remember going to, the playoff.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of play, that kind of game that comes down to not even an inch. I think it's less than that. It's a millimeter. It raises the stake of the rivalry. They know who they used to be, and we seem to be better. But I still think it's going to be a difficult game. Short week, the travel. It's Thanksgiving, so there's a little extra. It's on TV. I wonder what the fan's going to be like. If it's going to be a bit more family, if it's because it's Thanksgiving, if it's going to be a little bit more diehard. I'm looking forward to see what kind of atmosphere you're going to get, Lee. Wayne just joined us. It's always a good game, no matter what happened. And we remember last year the triple fake to Kittle by Brock Purdy on his 3rd start or something like that. It was good to see. Second start, that's right. Yeah, my Dolphins, Bucks. I'm hopefully we can see more of that. It's all right, isn't it?
So for me, Nadgy, this one is my big game. Sorry, Lee. So Niners fan 2012, 10 years. The Seahawks had our number, as you've all said. And I've done my defense scouting report a little bit different tonight, Gareth, purely because I didn't have time. But this is the game I'm always nervous about. I hate the Seahawks. Absolutely hate them. friends who are Seahawks fans point out that they've had our number, as Kev has put there. Apparently, Russell Wilson is a top 10 QB again. Don't know about that, Kev. But that's what we said to Lee at the start, Nadgy. Bucket list item for all 49ers fans. He's in Seattle. He's at a road game. He's representing. So, originally, chaps, I wasn't going to watch this one live. I thought, they're travelling back. But you know it. You know I'm staying up for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to pick up on something Nadgy said there. You think it would have been different having Brock Purdy over the last 10 years? I think that's a bit tough on him because he would have been like 12, 13. So, he probably his passer rating would have been down at like 105 or something.
Yeah,
so it might not make that much difference.
156 instead of 158. You know what I mean? We're on. Go on, Lee.
So to pick up on what Nadgy was saying before, the Seahawks fans have been really friendly so far. We haven't had any negativity from them. There was a little bit of a funny moment last night at the Climate Pledge Arena for the Kraken game. So there's a Seahawks fan who sat 2 along from me and had to pass him to go out and get the beers in. And he wasn't wearing any Seahawks gear, so I didn't know he was a Seahawks fan. And I think there was maybe 2-3 minutes left in the third period, and the San Jose Sharks were getting absolutely battered. And me and Andy got up. We got up to go to the toilet. That's why we got up. And as I walked past him, he finally pipes up with 3 minutes left in the final period. And he says, "Go Hawks." And we just laughed at him and we went out. Both went to the toilet, came back. And I don't think he was expecting us coming back. Because as I came down, I said, "You're all right, sweetheart. You look as though you're seeing a ghost." He looked at us and the colour just drained out of him. So I think the only reason he turned around and said, "Go Hawks," is because he thought we were leaving.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, the fans have been great, to be honest. When we were in the Climate Pledge Arena, 3 different members of staff came up and said, "Go Niners." They were Niner fans. There was only one staff who actually ended up being a Seahawks fan. And to be honest, up until today, I've actually only seen 2 Seahawks hats. I've seen loads of 49ers. Believe it or not, I've seen quite a few Ravens hats. Eagles, we sat on a few Eagles fans. But Seahawks, very few indeed.
Well, they're all at home.
Don't rep as much as us.
They're all at home.
Yeah.
They'll be out later, I'm sure.
Right, guys, before you get into offensive defense, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my prediction, and then I'm going to get myself back to the pre-tailgate.
So do I.
I think this is going to be a lot closer than what we'd like it to be. I don't think you can write off Pete Carroll. Obviously, we played them twice this season. He knows what we're good at. He knows how to try and stop us. Whether or not he's got the players to do that is a different matter. Geno Smith's playing with a bit of a busted up elbow. Jamal Adams has come back after a week off, but they've also lost Kenneth Walker as well. So it should be our game today. On paper, we should come away and win comfortably on paper. But I don't think it's going to be that comfortable. I think a few of us are going to be sat there a little bit nervous at the end. So I'm going to go for quite a close game, to be honest. And I'm going to say it's going to be a 27-23 victory.
Ooh, okay.
Lock that in, Nadgy. Lock it in.
Yeah. It is in. Locked in. I like it. Yeah, division game, right?
You can stick that one on there, Paul.
Yeah.
And have you got a Baldy before you leave us and head back into the tailgate?
Baldy? Have I got a Baldy? Because I'm thinking about balls. Right, okay. Brandon and I are 3 touchdowns.
That is bold.
Fantastic.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, I'll leave you with that, guys. Enjoy the game tonight. I think
you too.
You're all probably still on California time, so you should be able to get through this game okay.
No
hopefully
chance.
That's the case. No.
I need to sleep.
Believe it or not, today is the first time that me and Andy slept past 3 o'clock in the morning. And we're coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. Tough one.
Typical, isn't it? Typical.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, guys.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Lee.
The game.
Give them hell, mate.
See you next week. Cheers. Bang, bang, now and again.
We just said, Nadgy, we're going to do a more in-depth talk about the gold mine, but we have obviously sprinkled a few bits in because obviously people were there. So
yeah, had to obviously. Yeah, we'll do a proper review. The four of us with a week or two, taking everything back and seeing all the pitches, Wayne, and all that. Absolutely, I mean, it's no secret. It was amazing. I think.
There was one or two posts.
Yeah, it was.
I think I've seen a picture or two.
Yeah, I've seen a few too, but I know Wayne's gone.
I'm waiting for this guy's photos. My friends and family keep saying, "Where's your album?" I'm like, just wait. There's one or two photos that man's got that I want.
Wayne's posted batch 1. I think I've seen the first 85.
Yeah, there's a few. I don't know if you guys talked about, but unfortunately, some of us have come down with COVID, and I think Wayne is one of them. Hopefully, he's not too bad with it, but he also has to work. No, take your time, Wayne. We'll see them when we see them. Don't worry about it. Get better soon. And everybody that's caught it, get better soon. Think I'm clear. I feel pretty good. I did have a horrible night's sleep Monday night, so I think maybe that's what it was. But I tested yesterday. I'm good. No, I tested today.
Yeah, good. Hope everybody gets well soon, like you said.
Yeah, and hopefully most of us have escaped it. Hopefully. Anyway,
definitely big shout out to Wayne for his relentless photography work over the entire weekend, trying to capture as much as possible. So great to have that there and be under the lens. And can't wait to see him. Can't wait to see him.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest. I think I took one picture the whole weekend because that's what I do. I don't take.
Well, I did say, Nadgy, I took your advice and I lived in the moment. I did get pictures, but equally, when I look back, I think, I wish I'd got a photo with such and such, and I wish I'd done this.
Yeah, but it's just pictures, isn't it? As long as you have the memory, it's all that matters. And I knew Wayne was going to do an amazing job, so I'll just live for his pictures, and that'll be great. And then you get, So, it was a success, I think we can say. We will do a full review, I'm sure, very soon.
Do you want me to do defense, Gareth? Are we keeping our score predictions till later? Or?
I think we'll finish with our score predictions. But if you've got some thoughts on Seattle's D, is Brock going to have another perfect game?
Nadgy's going to put the depth chart up now. Wow. I haven't done as in depth as normal because, unlike you, Nadgy, I wasn't at work today, so I managed to sleep for about 14 hours as it felt. But one thing that I will say, Gareth, that the Seahawks defense present a dream matchup for our 49ers. They actually play zone coverage third highest in the NFL, 82.1% according to the stats I've seen. And Brock Purdy, which Nadgy will agree, has been arguably the NFL's best quarterback against zone. He's completed 136 of 176 passes for 1,713 yards, which is 77%. And he's ranked first in both passer rating and EPA play against the zones. And we saw that on the weekend. The Niners like to attack that middle of the field. 56% of Purdy's passes have been thrown over the middle. So I'm expecting Kittle to have another big night up in Seattle in that ice-cold white throwback. So where Lee's bold prediction featured Ayuk, mine's going to feature George, but I'll get to that bit in a bit. The Seahawks have also struggled against the on throws to the running backs. Now, we don't have a bad running back when it comes to catching passes out of the backfield. So again, I think CMC is in for a monster night, both on the ground and in the air. And then you factor in what Bebop has said, that man Deebo Samuel. Are we going to see some gadget plays tonight, Nadgy? Are we going to see Deebo line up possibly in the backfield? If they've struggled against the run, and you've got CMC, and you've got Deebo Samuel, and before I hand over, they've given up the third most rushing yards per game in the NFL, which is music to all 49ers fans' ears, because we know Kyle Shanahan's going to want to run that ball. And like we saw last year, we were a little bit nervous about Brock Purdy. And I don't know why, because you said, Nadgy, settled down with that pump fake to Kittle, which was unbelievable. The hardest thing I'm going to have to do tonight is being quiet, because I was allowed to jump up and down and shout, but it's going to be daft o'clock in the morning. But I think... The last thing I'll give up to you guys is that the Seahawks also are not great on the tackling. They've done some missed tackles like we have. And I don't think it's going to be as close as Lee thinks, but then it's a divisional rival game. It's Thanksgiving. We're coming off the back of... We slightly struggled against the Bucs. I mean, we were there wasn't as easy as we all thought it might be, but
Eh,
a
sure.
win's a win.
Yeah.
But that's basically what I've got for you on the defence, Gareth. I think we're going to feature a lot of zone play tonight, and I think Kyle Shanahan is going to dial up the perfect scheme for the perfect game, and El Presidente is going to be one happy man leaving that stadium tonight.
I think the only concern I've got is that they do have a decent set of cornerbacks. They are making plays, and of course, I haven't been able to see if anyone's inactive, but we did have a slightly banged up offensive line with Burford. Banks is out, and I think Burford and somebody else was listed as questionable.
I will pull the injury report out
Go on.
and I will let you know. Week 12, yes, here we go. Share this tab instead. There we go. Banks questionable, Burford questionable. Obviously, offers out.
Maybe it's just Burford then. Yeah, with
we all
Banks
know
out
that.
and Burford. So they could pin their ears back and try and get after Brock, but we have seen how good Brock is against the blitz. And I do expect us to go a bit run heavy, I think, to try and take perhaps some of that pressure off. Brock was sacked, I think, 4 times at the weekend. So the offensive line still isn't rock solid. So I do think we'll be favouring the run and picking the passes with care. But I do think that there are going to be the gaps for Mr. Kittle and Mr. Ayuk to exploit in that defense. It's just so long as we can make sure that we don't get too battered in the trenches, particularly early on. I think we need to set out that run game early and get at this defense. And in particular, I think do what we do best: score early, keep the pressure on defense, and get that crowd quiet, get them thinking about heading home for the turkey leftovers, and just get the game done. Nadgy, have you got the offense?
I can do. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can't. We know them. We know as if there's any week to do not your homework, it's this week. We played them so many times. Yeah, I've been slammed with work. That's the price I had to pay for going away for 5 days. Unfortunately, gigs don't stop ever, so that's what I do. So the first thing that jumps at me actually, if we can go back to this, is I think they're pretty banged up. There's a lot of names on that list, and I know they're all playing, but on a short week that can change pretty fast. Obviously, the biggest name is Geno Smith. We know there was a doubt after the Rams game. He exited it for quite some time, came back, elbow injury on his throwing arm. So I think if that flares back up, writing is on the wall for them because I don't think what's his name? Where is he? Drew Lock. Drew Lock can handle Bosa, Young, Hargrave, and our defense, which has been playing really, really well and kept us in games. Kept us in games. Won us the last 2 games essentially. They've been absolutely flawless with turnovers and everything. Yeah, that's that. And then we saw Tyler Lockett has been kind of banged up all season. DK Metcalf didn't practice Monday. I mean, it's really hard to take that practice window because it's so short. They played Sunday as well. But they seem to be pretty banged up. Kenneth Walker is probably not going to play. So it's going to be DJ Dallas, who's also on the injury report. But we know what they do. They've been doing it for a long time, and they run the ball really well. And then every so often they just take the top off with Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf on a big bomb, quite deep because they have a very fast receiver. Capable, although I still don't think DK Metcalf is a good receiver, and I will never think that. I think he was the product of a Russell Wilson more than anything when he was still good. And proof is he hasn't been in a top 100 or even talked about that much. But that's what they do. They do have Saxon Smith and Jigba, the rookie. He was very, very good at Ohio State. It will take him a little minute to get to NFL speed, but he has the talent. Definitely has the talent. So I would be careful. The last time we talked about a rookie receiver we played against, he burnt us. That was against the Vikings. He basically destroyed us that game. I think they played really well. I forgot his name now. From USC. Anyway, yeah. So I think Lee said it earlier. Pete Carroll's a good coach. It's going to be a well-coached team that don't make that many mistakes, except if you get under their skin. They're very, very passionate, and they play with that passion, and it can kind of backfire on them if things don't go their way, and if they get punched in the mouth enough, they will crumble and fall apart. So, to me, this game is our defense just needs to do the same. Obviously, we have a big question mark on our secondary with Huff going down. And yes, Jair Brown played really well when he came in, and we all saw that. I know it didn't really jump on the page for the people at home, but I can tell you, being in a stadium, apart from that first play where he got burnt off the middle, he was absolutely everywhere, making great tackles and obviously the pick and the two stops, pass defended, and everything in the end zone. I think the ceiling is high with that guy, but good knows what, now that he's got the starting job and playing the full game, he's definitely going to get attacked a lot, I would imagine. So expect him to fail a few times, I would imagine. So yeah, that's a big question mark. But I think, if that can hold on for a little bit and we can get after Gino, it should be an easy game. But it also could very easily be a battle, being a division game. Noah Fant is not a bad tight end. I think he can show up and down, very inconsistent. And that's about it, really. Unless you guys have got any question.
I'm not
No.
worried, Nadgy.
No,
They
I'm not
didn't
worried
move the
either.
ball well against us last year, and they were at full strength.
Yeah.
And I think we've all got those hang-ups of the previous 10 years.
Yes, we are.
And our 49ers defensive front is playing lights out, which for a banged-up quarterback can't be good. And you're right, seeing the game live, Jair Brown, I think they'll go after him a bit tonight.
Yeah, they will, of course.
We know that. And like you said, Tyler Lockett and Metcalf are the big names. Kenneth Walker being out's a big one for me.
Yeah.
I think Cabernet came with high hopes. I know the wide receiver, number 11. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name after I've been away for a few days. There's high hopes on him, but I think that front four, front seven of ours, Gareth, is going to be key tonight, and I can see us doing well. So I don't think it's going to be as close as Lee said, but as you've said, Nadgy, if there's 1 week where we haven't done our homework, I think people can forgive us,
Yeah.
what we've been doing the last few days. And just before you move on, breaking news, Wayne is going to have a go at Edmonton, the first batch of photos. He's been working today. Joy's been self-employed. As Nadgy said, Wayne, no rush, buddy, at all.
Rush at all.
Your work comes first. Your family time comes first. We do appreciate what you've done. And apparently, Big James has put in there that the photo of me and him outside Levi's is causing a bit of controversy because apparently my feet look massive compared to his size 12s.
Only
What I
12.
will say, James,
That's
I look like a
good enough.
small child stood next to you outside Levi's, and I'm not the shortest guy in the world. So we'll leave it up there before we go down the Lee Gowland-shaped rabbit hole. But, Nadgy, Lee has shared a video. Can you share that from your screen?
Yeah.
Might be a
I'm
good
gonna
way to
try and
segue across.
I'm going to try and do that.
So much for no coverage, Gareth. El Presidente has gone back to the tailgating, and he's sharing videos to make us all jealous.
Yeah. Can you see it? Because I can't.
Yeah, we can see it.
There you go. It's a bit of sound. It's busy. Oh yeah, I can see some Danes. Very nice.
Now, what's scary about that, Nadgy? That's the pre-tailgate. So that's not the event with Chapman. That's the pre-tailgate. As if those chaps who've been with us in San Francisco needed any pre-tailgate. But it's good to see them.
No, but I'm gonna say, I see every time I see things like that from Chapman, I just kind of revert back to the Leeds meetup and obviously the London meetup. I wasn't that, but the pitches look better. We look like there's more people, and I mean, they're only up the road. It's easier for them. But it's great. It's great to see Niners fans getting together to go and watch a game. And let's not forget, it must be hard to do a meetup on Thanksgiving. It's all about family. It's like trying to do a meetup on Christmas here. Very, very, very difficult, I would imagine. And seeing it packed and rammed like this, it's going to be a great experience. Even if you don't go to the game and stay there and watch a game, it's going to be amazing, I think. Yeah, well done, John, for doing this. You're doing God's work here. It's good stuff. Good to see.
Yeah, great. You covered the offense there quite well. I think.
Thank you.
I think you're right. They're possibly going to try and pick on Jair Brown.
Yeah.
But that's fairly obvious. I think we're going to be ready for that. I think that could well be. I'm not going to give away too much of my boldies too early, but I think there might be an interception or two, because of course, if they're going to try and test Jair Brown deep, they're going to have to hold Gino up for long enough to get there. And that's going to be the issue, because I also think Gino, one of perhaps his strengths is he can get the ball out quickly when he checks it down to the running backs, because he's very eager to do that as soon as the pressure comes, because he ain't that mobile. And I think we can see with the pressure we're getting from Young and Bosa, and then Armstead up the middle, who had a monster game against the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
If you can squeeze that pocket from every direction, he ain't got anywhere to go. But I also expect there could be a couple of plays for Greenlaw and Warner in hunting down the running backs and trying to sniff out and stop those short passes, which keeps their offense moving if their offensive line can't keep the ball, can't keep Gino upright. So I think it's going to be a good matchup. I hope it's not going to be too much of an anticlimax after the Thanksgiving games. Yeah, I think you just noticed the Lions have just lost. So
standard on Thanksgiving, though.
Exactly, you can change the team, but it's still Alliance on Thanksgiving, isn't it? And they could have, from the early stages of the game, they could have got absolutely battered.
Yeah, didn't look like a good
scored,
game.
I think, 23 points in the first quarter, something like that.
No, but it's it's a good reminder that a short week can do things to you. They played really well at Sunday, and let's not. And they're at home. So let's hope our team can not do that and be ready for it, because if they're not, if even this keep one beat, that Seahawks team will be ready to take it. And that's what I'm saying. I think it can either be a really close game, like Lee just said, or it'll be an absolute blowout. I don't think there's going to be anything in between.
I don't think there is anything in between.
Well, there is. There's them blowing us up, I guess.
Oh, I suppose so.
And then an easy game, like a in between. I think it's been extremely close or a blowout. No easy game there in the middle. More on that in a minute.
Are you ready to put that out in the score predictions? We've covered the preview. We know the Seahawks. We know what the game means. I think we know where we all are in the division. We're a game ahead. The Seahawks kind of need this one. And we could really put a bit of a nail in the coffin. And certainly we need this win, I think, before facing the Eagles and the Seahawks again. But the Seahawks have got a tough stretch. They've got us, Dallas, us again, and then the Eagles themselves. So they're hopefully this will put them on the skid.
With the Lions losing, they were 8-2. We could catch that up too, because it's not just the Eagles that are at the top of the NFC. If we want the top spot, we're gonna have to finish with a better record than the Lions, and we don't play them. So they dropped the game. We need to win, equal the record, and then whatever happens in terms of tiebreaker and all that. But this kind of games, we have to win them. This is how you get qualification early, and you can rest your players week 17, 18, which can make a big difference in January later on. Right, I'll go because I'm at the top, and I'm feeling really good. I've got shiny new jacket, and
a lucky jacket.
The lucky jacket. I thought we played a lot better than what the score showed on Sunday. I think it's that kind of game where a couple of things goes our ways, especially when they were driving and they got lucky a couple of times. We could have won that game easily, 42, not a lot. Basically my prediction was 37-10, and we could have easily won that, and it would have been a blowout. But I'm gonna go full confidence. I've got a bit of leeway. I can 49ers win, and I'm gonna go 45-17.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I've put it in your column for some reason. Let me change that.
So you doubt, now you've put it in that column, that's going to be the scar, and Gareth's going to be like, hang on.
That's right. Right, I'll delete that as well. There we go. Paul, I think you're next because you're second. So.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was going to be bold with my score. I mean, as we talk about, chaps, Seattle are coming into this game banged up on offense, and I think it's going to be tough to see them taking advantage of our relative weaknesses, shall one say. And our offense is set up well to attack this, and I'll get to that in my boldies, Gareth, because I think the Yak boys are going to feast tonight. So I was going with a 49ers 31-13 victory tonight. And I thought some people might say you've been a bit too bold, Paul, on Thanksgiving. But Nadgy came in with 45. So if there's ever an occasion I want to be wrong, I'm not El Presidente. I'd rather have Nadgy's score, but plain correct, Gareth. That's the one I had written down before I came upstairs. So over to you, buddy.
So do you want to start with what you think or what you want to write down? Because
see,
two different things.
This has been a difficult one because what I think and what I want to write down might well actually be very much the same.
Colin.
It's been difficult to second guess myself here and come out with, well, there we go. I'm going to go for San Francisco 37, Seattle 9.
Oh, okay. So we're kind of on the same page, just on different levels.
That's bold going 9. I was thinking I should go a bit earlier and get
9
that
is
3-point
tough.
spread. But
Yeah. We didn't say for the people that like putting money on these kind of things.
of course.
Let me find it. Where are we?
We think we're bold. Colin's gone for a shutout,
I know, I saw
31-0.
I mean,
Hey.
we're 7 points favorite in their house on a short week. That's disrespectful to say the least. Over under is a 43.5 by ESPN Bet. Remember, people, bet responsibly. Don't be an idiot. But yeah, Colin going with the shutout. I'd love to see that. I would love to be so wrong that.
I think we've all gone over, haven't we?
Yeah. Easily. We're all over 50. So 43.5 is quite low. It's a short week. I get it.
I'm not a betting man, Gareth. There's no thought process goes into the over and under with mine. I'll pick a score and I'll stick with it.
Yeah.
So,
I'd pay
Colin-
no attention to it.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
we
go
should
on.
just listen to Colin. Sounds like he's the man.
Do you have some boldies then? I think Lee Gowland's picked Brandon Ayuk for a hat trick.
3 touchdowns, yeah. I mean, the way he played on Sunday, whew, he's good.
I think
Sorry, I was going to cut. You know, I think a few weeks ago I said he was probably expandable, considering our team and his contract and all that. Seeing him live play again, I think we need to keep him. He's too good. And I had his jersey on. He saw me. That's why he played as well. You know.
Of course, can't let Nadgy down.
No, I can't do that.
That was the crux of Shanahan's pre-game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know, UK faithful in the gold mine. Nadgy's got your shirt on, Brandon.
Well, CMC,
Let's go.
I had CMC on. He scored first. There was plenty of Club 85s. Club 85 scored. There was Ayuk. There was Purdy's. We were well represented on Sunday. I think we had the whole offense covered, so we were all right.
Slam God indeed. Although that's 76 yards on the sideline, whew, that was good. Stacked him good. It stacked him so good he was injured. So
Wayne's
that's what
jumped
you
in.
wanna say. Oh, that's
34-17.
a bit more
Sensible.
conservative.
It's a more
but
sensible one.
Yeah, that's good.
Voice of reason.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You're right, Josh. We need to win tonight, and then we move 2 seed. And then if Philadelphia loses this week and we beat them next week, we got number 1 seed. That's how it works, gents. That's how it works.
So come on, you baldies. You've gone down a Gowland-sized rabbit hole.
Who's going first?
Oh, it's got to be you, Nadgy.
All right, cool. I'm going to call for every single of our playmaker scoring a touchdown. I've asked for 45 points. That's 1 Debo, 1 CMC, 1 Kittle, 1 Ayuk, 1 Jennings, and 1 Ronnie Bell. Touchdowns. One of
Ronnie
each.
Bell. Wow.
Ronnie Bell touchdown tonight.
Wow, I like
I can
that.
see it. I can see it.
What have you got for George then, Paul?
Well, he stole my thunder there, Gareth, because I was going to say the Yak boys are going to eat tonight because the defense's strength, which I didn't mention earlier, I was rushing through, is their cornerback, the perimeter. They've drafted quite well there. So I think we're going to stay away from them. Then we're going to run the ball. We're going to see some quick outs. And we're going to see the ball across the middle. So I was going to feature heavily on there. But as we do bold on this show, I'm going to go for 3 touchdowns from George Kittle.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Why not?
Nice and simple. I like it.
Two picks from Fred Warner. Because
Ooh.
just got to show Fred the love.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
That was one I was thinking of because I think he is going to get targeted. Well, I think we've hopefully between us we'll have a good spread. I think with Ayuk and George already taken, it's down to me to go for Debo, and Debo's going to pull out a monster run, not necessarily in distance, but it's going to be those one where he breaks every single tackle on the way, and he's going to hammer it in from perhaps about 30, 35 yards. And embarrass at least 6 or 7 Seahawks players on the way.
Perfect.
And I think we're going to get 4 turnovers. But I'm not going to be drawn on the interceptions or the fumbles because I do think that Geno could get a little bit of a battering. And if his elbow is a little bit dodgy, that can all grip on the ball.
Absolutely.
Strip that ball out. I can see. I think I will go a bit more bold here then. Bosa is going to strip it. And Young is going to scoop it up and take it in for a TD.
Ooh, scoop and score, Ohio State. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. And we do a scoop and score. We haven't had one for a while.
We are. We do a defensive touchdown. It's been a while. We've had plenty of turnovers, and we can't seem to actually score on them. This close. It'll happen.
Just before we shoot off, Gareth, I just want to say thank you to TED Talks Ball. Me and Nadgy went for a walk to Kezar Stadium.
That's right.
Before we came back. Typical UK fashion, underestimated the time, underestimated the distance. And I was meeting Ted and Gina for lunch, and Ted picked me and Nadgy up, dropped Nadgy back off at the hotel. And another thank you, Gina, got me the awesome flag. She knows we like to fly a flag on this show, so just wanted to say thank you, because we were out in the Bay Area. Chapman was awesome at the game, but it was nice that other content creators decided to come out and see us while we're in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that was cool.
The love we've had from the community, the tweets that we've put out there, the pictures we've put out there, people who may not be used to so much traction on their tweets have reached out to me and said, we keep getting all these likes, we keep getting all these views, and I think it's underestimated how much goes into us getting across to a game, and it's always nice to feel that kind of special rapport. But I just want to say thank you to Ted, absolute legend, buddy, and I cannot wait to return the favour when the Niners are in London next year. Me and Nadgy will return the favour, I promise.
Won't be driving around London though. Sorry, Ted, but yeah, thanks for the ride. That was great. I didn't need it, but yeah, so much love, and it was so good to be over there and welcome the way we were. It was amazing.
There's quite a long list of thank yous, isn't
there?
Oh,
definitely.
Maybe we'll go into more on the Goldmine show, but certainly it was great to meet Ty. He was a lovely guy, hugely welcoming, I think, to everybody. Went round and spoke to everybody, and of course, huge thanks to Nick Clark and his team. He brings the energy as always. Great to be around, and a good ambassador, I think, for the team. I think they've got a good guy there, perfect for this fan engagement role, because he really got us fired up and made us feel sort of looked after, and I think valued. Like, it's not just a job. It's like, we want you here. We invite you here. We want you to enjoy it. It's not just, this is something we do and it's business. There seems that, that real genuine enjoyment there. So thanks to Nick and his team.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll make a big long list. We might even have to do a credit style. Thank you for everyone that was involved. So many people. Still kind of feels surreal. I've literally got off the plane, went to work. I haven't had time to settle down for like 5 minutes. But
I was back at work today. Suddenly it's very quick. It's like a week ago I was getting ready and on the way, leaving home, and
that's right.
Now I'm back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I took today and tomorrow off. I've had time to process it all. Thank you to the both of you. Obviously we do the pods, but to meet in person again and spend time with each other, and the knowledge that you two both have of the game and of the city was well appreciated by me. There's a video, Gareth, that someone put of us coming up the escalator, and the look on my face says it all. I'll be sharing it.
I don't remember who's got it.
Niner Reddit. I'm going to get a screenshot of it, don't worry, because I was just in awe. And I think Steve, Brett's mate, has put a post and he's captioned it quite well. He thanked Lee, obviously, which we'll get to, but he called my puppy like enthusiasm, much needed for the weekend. And I make no apologies the second I saw Levi's Stadium. And I don't want to share all the tidbits because we're going to do another pod, but you two looked after me. And that walk around at the end, Nadgy, I wouldn't have done that without you. And if you do ever go over to Levi's, you do need to take it all in, which what I did. Yeah. And you've got to say, Gareth, you put it well, because not only did I share a room with you, you also chose to sit next to me at the game. And I was like a child in a sweet shop. So it was just impressive all the way around. And we will get round, like you said, Nadgy, thank yous for everybody. And
yeah, we will.
To quote Lee Gowland, it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
You should say that. And of course, it goes without saying, a big thanks to Lee for pulling it all together. So I'm we won't say too much about that. I think there was a thank you at the game, but perhaps we'll leave Lee to talk about that.
Yeah, we will. The last thing I want to say, I think it's not just a thank you from Lee, but since I've joined the group and since I've started doing this podcast, that was always the goal, to try and get people over there together in one way or another. And I don't think he could imagine that we would be 40 of us. And then this gold mine thing started happening and it kind of morphed into it. But seeing it accomplished, and I'm not saying that's where we stop, but seeing the first step of what this group is trying to achieve and basically turning around at the game and feeling like I was back in Leeds earlier, but in Levi, it's so good. It just shows the power of this group. So I think ultimately, this thank you to everyone, not just the 40 that were there, not just Lee, but everyone that's part of the group and make it what it is. Because without you guys, we wouldn't do what we do, and we wouldn't even try to go and organize things like this if the community wasn't awesome and we knew you guys would pull together. So it's thank you to you, and hopefully we can repeat this so as many people as possible enjoy what we did, and hopefully the group will get stronger and stronger and stronger, become God knows what, maybe cheerleaders.
London game is going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's not next year, which I'll be very surprised at, it's got to be the year after. So it's not going to be long.
But like you said, Nadgy, it's the community. Yeah. The fact that we love the community, Gareth, is why we went live as we did. I did a quick live at Golden Gate with Nick. I then did one with Lee for Victory Monday. We went live from the gold mine. We know it wasn't perfect. We know it's not a John Chapman style breakdown of the analysis. It was literally Instagram on my phone, go live to give you a taste of what it was. We don't get paid to do this. Nadgy's rushed back from work tonight. Lee has Skyped in. He's at Seattle. He could have been in the pub with his mates. He chose to come out and give some time back. But I'm at you, Nadgy's seen all the photos, all the posts, but equally of the people over here. There was a lot of love from the community on the Discord chat, the Facebook post. And I know when we do a review of the Goldmine post, it's going to be probably like the last one, our most watched show. People are going to ask questions. And like I said, we're not going to give too much away. The good thing is all four of us have been now, so we can do an actual proper travel to San Francisco pod, because we've all got our own experiences.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm still hoping the next one is going to be a travel to London pod for the faithful over in the Bay Area and the rest of the US, so that we can offer something back and that's hopefully invite them over to London and give them the 49er faithful UK welcome. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, can't wait for the schedule release next year.
Yeah.
So it is 1:05 in the morning for us in the UK game tonight. Sky Sports, DAZN, however you watch it. Ice cold white throwbacks. I will be stayed up. Looking forward to this one. Anything else to say, chaps, before I load up the video?
No blackout. No blackout.
Seattle are wearing their snot green, aren't they?
Yeah. No blackout, because the blackouts are only on Sunday, so you can watch on DAZN. You can watch on Sky. There will be a Discord game thread. There should be a Facebook one too. Join in and back to business.
We'll be back to normal service resume. We'll have to check when Lee's back. We'll obviously have a little bit of extra time to do a Seahawks review.
Yeah.
Over the perhaps on Monday, our normal review day. We'll see how it goes with the time, and then we'll be into the Eagles game. So
Eagles preview next Thursday.
This is the business end of the season. This is the meaty bit.
This is meaty bit indeed.
There's going to be bits of bird eating all over the all over Seattle this evening.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, that definitely will be.
So I've got the video loaded, Gareth. So once we say the infamous words, just let me know when you're ready. I'll press the video. So
That's it. That's all there's to say.
Let's see.
It's Seattle. It's Thanksgiving. Go Niners.
Go Niners.
We love the San Francisco 49ers deep in the heart. Like Joe Montana in the corner, deep part.